Good evening, Knicks Nation. Welcome to a next edition of Sky Hoops Knicks Dreams. To join the conversations, drop your comments in the chat. And in a little bit, I'll be sharing the link. So if you want to jump in as a co host and chop it up with us, you're more than welcome to. With that being said, I want to introduce my main man, Bill Stradamus Esquire. What's up, brother?
Salute, Papi Santos. Salute, man. Feeling good.
Salute,
Feeling
brother.
good.
Salute.
Feeling good, man. Getting ready for this game in the next hour and a half, whatever they jump it off, and looking forward to them picking up where we left off on what was that Friday night
Yeah, Friday
against
night.
against against the Bucks. Great game. I know you missed the game because you had bigger and better stuff going on. So we're gonna I am gonna start off to let you know how it went down.
Bring it, brother. Talk to us.
The first quarter, we looked like a high school team. Terrible start. And that's because, in my opinion, what I saw is we didn't come out thinking defense first. We come out like we've done in several games this season, just shooting threes. We come out just bombing. And once again, it looks good when it goes in, but when they don't go in and you're not playing defense and you're sloppy with the ball and et cetera, then it looks bad. We were bad. We were bad, bad, bad. Bad in the Leroy Brown. We were bad. Badder than Michael Jackson. Bad. Bad. We were just bad.
That bad? How
That
bad
bad.
was it?
It was bad. It was just, it was like, I think we ended the first quarter down, I think like 19, something like that.
38 20, I think it was.
Yeah. 30, no, it's 38-19. Right.
Oh,
So it was
38
actually
19.
19 points
Yeah, 19 points.
deficit
Okay.
at the end of the first quarter. We were bad. Picked it up in that second quarter and closed out the quarter. We chopped off 8 points. We chopped off 12 points of that 19-point lead. So we went into the half down 7. And then one miraculous thing happened. We had the opposite of the third quarters that we've been having and had all last season. It went reverse and went into our favor. We had a dominant third quarter. Outscored them by 12. And then in the fourth quarter, we just kept our foot on the gas and just took them out. Now, I'm just going to broad base it like that and summarize it like that, hoping somebody else jumps in and then they can give their little feedback. But you said that you saw the stats, and were you wondering anything? Any questions you have? I can try to help you out.
Well, I definitely looked at the box score. Obviously, I didn't see the game, but I was following the game, via the box score, the game cast online and stuff like that. And what I noticed, obviously, based on the numbers, is that from the second quarter on, the defense was there, which
Right.
is extremely important. This is what we've been preaching in the last couple of games, that in essence, yes, I understand they want to play a little bit more up tempo. They've already been given a mandate to shoot more threes. But again, like you said, in terms of when you're shooting threes and you don't hit those threes and you don't get back on transition defense, you open yourself up for runouts,
Yep.
against you, number one. And number two, you're giving up more possessions. Okay.
Yeah.
We have to go back to our roots, in terms of defense first. And I know you've been preaching that as well in the previous podcast. No different than in football. In football, it's about time of possession.
Yep.
In basketball, it's about limiting possessions. And that's a premium. Not many teams are playing that style of game. That's our strength. We need to stick with our strength. Yeah, we want to, open it up here and there, but we have a second unit that we could run with, and give another change of pace every now and then. But we can't start off shooting threes
Yeah.
from the outset. We're not, in my opinion, we're not that type of team yet.
Agreed.
Where you have dead eye scores from 3-point range that you just can't leave open. We don't have that yet. We have a couple of players that if they get in a rhythm,
Right.
which takes time. If they can get into a rhythm, then they can hit threes. But again, our staple has to be our defense, limiting possessions so that we can control the game and the pace. And when it's to our advantage to run and gun, we do that. But we open ourselves up as well when we don't do that. But go ahead, brother. You
Yes,
saw the game, so you have a better perspective.
absolutely. And like you said, and what you saw in the box scores is actually what took place. Every quarter, with the exception of that first quarter, the defense kind of turned up. And we were great on the boards overall against that team. Now, that team, I believe, is a good rebounding team. However, they had some people out. Middleton didn't play. Drew Holiday didn't start. And so, but it is what it is. Those are the world champs. And they made their necessary adjustments. They put certain people out on the floor who they thought would bring it to us, and they absolutely did bring it to us in that first quarter. But overall, we handled them. We slowed them down. And I'm just going to say what I saw in the third quarter. It was Randall. He came out and he hit. I think they gave him a few ISOs straight, like about maybe three, and he was successful. He started nodding his head and doing the talking in his mouth. They can't stop me. And I said, "Oh no, that is the worst thing that could have happened." I said, because now he's going to try to win the whole game himself. However, something strange happened. Uh, Tibbs put in Rose. Rose settled the ship and had them all passing the ball around. So, whereas I thought his body language, and I even mentioned it during that time of the game in the chat, I said, he's kind of feeling himself. He looked like he's going to go into hero ball. And then all of a sudden, he didn't do that. And once he didn't do that, the Knicks, they ran away with it, basically. The Knicks was down at one point in that game by 21, end up turning it around and being up by 20 points. And we turned it around with a team effort, moving the ball around and not just one person trying to win the game for us. With that being said, I see the young brother that just stepped into the room.
Mm-hmm.
Free money.
Salute.
Salute. Let's get it.
What's going on? Salute everybody. It was a good win against the defending champions. I mean, the first quarter, our 3-point D was not there. We were getting slaughtered. But then the second quarter, third, and fourth, we did good job clogging the paint, preventing Giannis drives. We forced Giannis to perimeter shots. And we did a much better job running the Bucks off the 3-point line after that first quarter. And
Yeah.
another thing, what I loved is that our bench was attacking. Derrick Rose attacked. His jumper looked flowing. Julius Randle played very smart. Had one of his best games of the season. His mid range, going to the rack, he outplayed Giannis. He did outplayed Giannis. And even though RJ didn't shoot well, if you watch the game, RJ was still attacking, using his strong hand, going to the rim. His jumper was still flowing at times. So it was a good win for us against the defending champions. I know the Bucks were not fully healthy, but still we got to win. We
That's
just
it.
got to beat Cleveland. The Cavaliers have been surprising to start the least. It won't be easy. I know they don't have Kevin Love. I know they don't have Laurie Markkinen, but this is the same cast team that beat the Raptors and won 5 in a row. So it's not gonna be easy. And we don't have Kemba today due to the fact that he's resting. So it's next man up. We just gotta come out here, share the ball, swing the ball, play smart, jump on Cleveland early, and just play 48 minutes. And with that, I'm gonna do an alley to my man Santana.
Oh, thank you, G Money. Thank you. And I'm going to throw it down like Daryl Dawkins, chocolate
Mm-hmm.
thunder in the house. So let me just go back real quick to the Milwaukee game. Of course, those are the games that we got to get early. And I'm glad
Mm-hmm.
that they did, especially an upper echelon team, even though they may not have had all their horses. Those are the opportunities because
Mm-hmm.
the next time that they play, chances are they're going to have their full horses. They're going to want to avenge that loss. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, we're gonna have to come out and play. So the fact that they went out there and they pull it out, that's great. Now is a matter of carrying that momentum over into this game, like you alluded to, G Money regarding the Cavs. They're a young team. They're playing well. They're
Mm-hmm.
playing
Yeah.
well early on right now, and so I think they're in a place like we were last year where, you know, in the beginning of the season, we stole a few games. That
Mhm.
that gave us momentum, and then of course we snuck up on a lot of folks because they didn't take us serious. So we got to take Cleveland serious because that team is playing very good basketball.
Mhm.
And their record reflects it as well. They're young, they're hungry, they seem to be playing with a new found type of energy, and as a result of that, they're winning. And so this is an opportunity for our team to continue to play at a high level and maintain it. Not
Mhm.
play down. That's been
Mhm.
my criticism of this team from day one is will they play down to the competition because that's the mark of an inconsistent team and
Mhm.
we want them to be consistent. So that's my charge to them or my challenge to the Knicks. But with that being said, I'm gonna do a nice little crossover dribble, and then I'm gonna give a nice little around the back pass to my man Bill Stradamus so he could elaborate a little bit more.
Mhm.
Oh, you
You
muted.
muted. Muted it. Oh, okay,
So I'm
okay.
gonna take one dribble, pick it up with the same hand, a la Julius Winfred Irving, and bang it on whoever's under there. Decide to jump. Okay, I agree with you. And this Cavs team, and it's not going to be easy, as both of you have alluded to. It's not going to be easy because they're playing well. They're
Mhm.
young, and the thing is, we have to from the jump ball, we have to come out there with a purpose, and
Right.
we have to play defense first. Move the ball around a little bit. Although we picked it up in that last game, we had fewer than 20 assists for the whole game. I think we had something like maybe 15 assists
Mm.
that game. That's not good. We have too many pieces to have only 15 assists at the end of a ball game. We have too many capable scorers, and uh, that's just a testament to how many times we go ISO, and that's not really our game. That ISO three ball starts are going to be to our detriment if we continue along that path.
We had
Because the
16
teams are
assists,
going
by the way. We had
to
16 assists.
16, right? See,
Yeah.
that's we should have that at least 10 more.
Right.
We should have at least 10 more with the personnel that we have over here. Um, I
Mhm.
did like the fact that we beat them, we killed them on the boards.
Mhm.
So that was a good thing. Let me see what was the differential on the boards.
You can check on ESPN. Yo, you go on ESPN, type in Knicks
I
Bucks,
got it.
whatever.
I got the stats right here
Mhm.
on the boards. We beat them 59-37 on the boards.
Mhm.
That's a huge differential, and that was why we were able to make our comeback because we were holding them to one shot.
Mhm.
We was getting that board and we were pushing it. Derrick Rose was pushing it down
Mhm.
their throat. And as other players came back in, like uh quickly, he came in. He had hit a few buckets. Um, Kemba, he even came in and hit a bucket or two. It was spread out. It wasn't where you knew where the offense was coming from, a la last season, where you knew it was just going to be Julius and whoever else may turn up.
Mhm.
RJ, believe it or not, he only had 20 points, but during our bad stretches, he was the best player at that time.
True.
During
True.
during those during our bad stretches, he was the one holding us, holding us down and keeping us in it. Uh, but then Rose came in. Rose had like what 23, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists, and he played 30 minutes. So now, mentioned tonight that Kemba won't be playing.
Right. No
Rose
Kemba.
No Kemba. So my guess is Rose is going to start. However, he needs to do what we've been saying now. He needs to let Deuce McBride get some run.
Mhm.
Let um I forget the other brothers. The brother
Grimes.
Grimes with the silky jumper. Give them guys some run this game. We're
Right.
going against Cleveland. Cleveland has young
They young
personnel as well.
guns.
They have young personnel, so let our youngsters get out there and scrap and roll around with Cleveland tonight, and don't put it all on Rose.
Mhm.
We don't like for Rose to start, and I wouldn't even be surprised if he did something like maybe have Burke start at the one. He can do something like that. But you got to give the youngsters some run tonight. Um,
Right.
the in the whole we were good. Noel had a great game in my opinion. Only 6 points, but he had like 13 boards
Mm.
and a couple of block shots. He did very well. Robinson, not as well. He had 6 rebounds, 4 points, and I saw that Robinson. He still doesn't have that necessary footwork uh, that we were looking for him to improve on. He's not there yet, and he's carrying around that extra 15 to 20 pounds. So maybe perhaps he's not yet in shape. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that front. Quickly, he came in, dropped 9 points. He played 18 minutes. Obi had 15 minutes, and Obi had a decent 15 minutes, believe it or not. Only 6 points and 2 rebounds, but it was an effective outing out there. He was playing defense. He was making it hard for the Bucks on those offensive rebounds. Uh, Other than that, I just have to give credit to basically Randall for holding himself. It seemed like it was hard for him not to do. Like I know he wanted to take over the game and win it all by himself, but I think he thought better of it and trusted the teammates and then let Rose run the show basically. And that's how we came back, went ahead, held on for the win. With that being said, I'm gonna do a no look pass over to my man G Money.
Sweet. And I'm going to splash cash it like Drazen Petrovic from downtown.
All right.
Rest in peace, man.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, you made some great points. We did a good job, you know, clogging the paint. Like you said, Bill, Julius tried to do too much in the first, but then he started to calm down and let the game come to him. RJ Bear was attacking the rack. Yeah, he didn't shoot well, 8 for 21, but I thought his aggressiveness was still there. And another thing too, I mean, like you said, Derrick Rose was going to the cup and using a strong hands jump shot was falling a little bit, and we continued to agree free. 7 of 17. Usually Giannis is more efficient than that because Giannis was going to the cup and we forced him to hitting jump shots. So we forced
Right.
him to the outside area. Something I know we're talking about the Knicks, but the Knicks did something that teams didn't do against the Bucks last year. Was forcing Giannis to shoot jump shots because last year Giannis was going to the basket at will, dunks, offensive boards, etc. Especially in against the Phoenix Suns in the NBA Finals. That game against the Knicks, we clogged that paint, forced him to shoot jumpers at the top of the key or at the wing. I know his jumpers improved, but it's still not amazing. So we forced him to to the outside. And another thing too, like you said, was rebounding. I know the Bucks lost rebounding with Brook Lopez, but Milwaukee's still a good rebound too when you have the great freak in the paint, and Portis can rebound too. And we did a good job crashing the glass, hold them to one shot, and we did a great job swarming the perimeter, like guys like Pat Connaughton. Grayson Allen was hotter than a furnace in the first quarter, but we did a good job containing him. He looked like Ray Allen in the first
Ray
quarter.
Allen. I posted that. I said that Grayson Allen's looking like Ray Allen. He
Looked
was.
like yeah,
Ooh,
he looked like Ray out in the first quarter, but man, we shut him down after that.
yep.
And the good thing of why we won that game, Coach Thibodeau just plugged in the right pieces though, and he outcoached Boonhoser, and that's why we got the W. Well, what we need to do, obviously, we don't want to keep digging ourselves holes. So what we need to do is to come out against Cleveland, like you said, come out with a purpose, come out with focus. Maybe this is a game that maybe Evan Fournier might go off. Maybe this is a game that Evan Fournier could go off though, so we can get on those early catch and shoots and make him penetrate. And let's get Mitch involved. I mean, I know he's not a scorer and he's a good defender, but let's get Mitch involved. Let's do some lobs for Mitchell Robinson to get Jared Allen in foul trouble. Let's do that though. If we can do that, we should be able to win this game. It's going to be a close game because, like I said, the Cavs fight. They have good young talent: Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, Shetty Osman, Jared Allen, Mobley. They have good talent, and they're a sleeper team to be in the play-in tournament if they can keep this up. But we just got to just come out here, jump on them right home. We cannot take another team lightly because, like you said, Santana, what the problem with the Knicks sometimes we play down to our opponents. We think that we can just show up and play. We can't keep doing that because when you beat the teams that you are better than, it gives you a confidence that hey, we can beat anybody. Because if we keep coming out, I'm happy we beat the Bucks and that was a good win there. But we just got to beat the teams we're supposed to beat. We can't joke around with teams like the Cavs because if we keep doing that, then we'll be in trouble. But I think we'll come up with the right mentality. I think that win against the Bucks is what we need. And remember, we have the Sixers tomorrow. Philadelphia's been red hot. We got to win this game in Cleveland. Excuse me, at home versus Cleveland. I'm sorry, so we could go to Philly in the right note. And with that, I'm gonna do a no look behind the back to my man Santana.
Thank you, G Money. And I'm gonna do Gervin style. I'm gonna do the finger roll, but I'm gonna go up and under and finish it off with my left.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
So
mm,
yeah, you guys are making great points. And in terms of today's game and the matchups, of course, Cleveland has a young team and their guards, they like to run. So
Mm-hmm.
we have to have great transition defense to slow these kids down because these kids, they're going to want to run. Plus, in terms of the matchups, Mitch Robinson is going to go up against the Fro. The Fro is another cat that is very athletic as well, and
Mm-hmm.
he's playing good basketball. He's averaging a double double.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's early in the season, but nonetheless, it still counts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the kind of flow and rhythm that he's into. So Mitch is gonna have his hands full as well. I think personally that the Fro is further along than Mitch is, and I
I
think that
agree.
has more to do with the fact that Mitch has been injury prone,
I
and
agree
of
with that.
course, Mitch came straight out of high school. The Fro, I think he had at least 1 year of college, so he's had a chance to polish his game a little bit more. But he's been able to play more minutes, obviously, because he's in Chicago. When he was with Brooklyn, he was platooned a lot and stuff like that. And again, he was younger, he was learning the game. But now he's the guy, or at least the starting center for the Chicago Bulls. So that's going to
You
be a
meant Cleveland
very
Cavaliers.
yeah. That's what I meant. Um, so I think what's going to happen now is, obviously that matchup is going to be very important, and the guard matchup is going to be very important. I think,
Right.
like Bill Stradamus said regarding, who's going to be the starting point guard. Yeah, it could be Burks or it could be Quickly. I wouldn't want to see Quickly because I don't see him as a
yeah,
pure point. He's still struggling to learn how to play that position. Burks is more sure-handed. He's going to be able to handle the ball. He's not going to try to do it all by himself. Quickly, he's going to try to press and push too much, and it doesn't work. So to keep the rotation intact, yeah, I agree. I think they should start Burks and bring Rose off the bench because, of course, you want Rose to play, but you don't want him to play 30 minutes, especially if we're going to play another game tomorrow.
right,
You need to save his legs. That's where McBride comes in, and you spell him some minutes, not a possession. That doesn't help him develop
right,
at game speed in the NBA. One possession and then you sit out, to me, is not of value to him. But this game, because you don't have Kemba and you do have Burks, and you want to limit the amount of minutes that Rose plays, because you're gonna need either Rose and or Kemba tomorrow. So
Mm-hmm.
you gotta rest Rose as best you can throughout this game. And of course, when the game is on the line, you put him in there and
right,
make sure
Absolutely.
that he close out the game. But you don't put a lot of minutes on him
Mm-hmm.
because you want to preserve him. Okay, he got a lot of mileage in those legs, and of course he's effective. But remember, we got to play the long game with Rose, which is we want him to be fresh come playoff time.
Yep.
Yes, we want to get win these games that we're supposed to win, but these are games also where we could use another body off the bench to work on those young guards that Cleveland has, and that's
Mm-hmm.
where this kid McBride comes into the picture. And like you said, Mr. Bill, regarding Grimes, yeah, it doesn't hurt to bring him off the bench and hit a few shots. That helps his development as well. Long as the game is manageable, is within range, and or we're leading, then we should plug these guys in for a few minutes here, a few minutes there. I think G Money, you talked about Fournier and
Mm-hmm.
the value that he can bring to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course. I think he has the potential to handle the ball
Mm-hmm.
himself. Sometimes he gets a little careless every now and then, but He still has skill. You got to
Right.
defend him in the 3 point range, and then every now and then, if the defenders overplay him, he can take it to the basket. So if we play smart basketball like that, we should be all right. But go ahead, G
Right.
Money, take it away. Go ahead. What you want to say, brother?
You made some great points, Santana. You made some great points, and like I said, but we have to play some of the young guns. I mean, Coach Steps, even though he's a good coach, he really needs to learn to use his rotations better and open his mind and go deep in his bench. Because in the playoffs, you're going to need some sort of a bench in the playoffs, though. And like you said, Santana, we don't want to overplay D Rose a lot because we don't want him to get tired and pooped out and heaven forbid injured. I don't want that. So it's like your Thibs, you gotta shuffle your line. Use more Quigley in this game, more bursts. Don't overpay Derrick Rose unless he's on fire. Derrick Rose is having a good start, you can play him. But if he's starting up a little bit slowly, I suggest, or the game's a blowout, I suggest you rest him a little bit and then let the other young guys do their part. Because we don't, because come playoff time, if we want to go far, we need our guys to be fresh and ready. So that's the thing. And with that, Bill, I'm gonna do an alley to my man Bill Stradamus.
And I'm gonna catch it, pump it through the legs once, and go backwards, a la J.R. Smith,
Mm,
2012.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
Um, Agreed. I agree
Mm-hmm.
with all of the points that you just made, G Money. And
Mm-hmm.
I want to add also in this game, I want to see a little more Obi because
Mm-hmm.
the Cavs have good big men. Although I think marketing is not playing, and I think Love is out as well. Love is out and marketing is out, but they still have a forward. They still have some nice pieces at the forward spot, and this would be a chance for Obi, to get it going a little more offensively, perhaps this game. Again, taking it to Jared Allen to draw some fouls,
Mm-hmm.
uh, to put them in some trouble. Don't come out there shooting 3 pointers at the outset. Come in and try to take it into the hole because if we're successful in that, that'll open up the outside shooting for us. Whereas the shots that are taken um, by RJ, by Fournier, Rose, Burks, those are going to be open threes if we take it to the hole often and early. Um, I'm interested to see how Quickly does play because quickly he's not there yet. Something has seemingly happened where he has seemingly regressed some. I'm looking at the starting lineups. They're starting Derrick Rose.
mm.
Well, that's a projected lineup, so we'll see. But I think quickly, I don't know what's going on with him. It's something happens that when he comes into the game, he feels that he has to do something immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And although he was like that last season, he seemed to play a little smarter last season for some
He
reason.
did.
He played
He
smarter.
played with. I'm sorry for interrupting. He played more calm last season. Now it's like he just now he's just like been mediocre. Yeah.
Right. And maybe he's seemingly in competition with his teammates, seeing how others are doing, and he said, "Okay, well, when I come in, now it's my turn."
Mm-hmm.
You're not there yet to where you can come in and demand a turn. Not you're not there yet. You have to develop slowly. There's still things that he needs to work on. He needs to work on his handle badly. He needs to work on his handle. He needs to sit and watch the game. I guess from the coach's perspectives, because he would play a little smarter if he did that. When he comes into the game, he should know who's going well and see to it that they get the ball instead of him getting the ball and trying to get a clear out situation so that he can do what he does. And that's, shoot or take it in there and try to float it because that part of his game is off. That part of the game is off. I want to see also, like I said before, I want to see Grimes get some run. That guy, he has his jumper is NBA ready, in my opinion, already. That guy comes in and he lets it go, and I expect it to go in. He's got me already there, and I haven't even he hasn't even played a whole lot this season. But from from what I've seen of him from the summer and the few games in the preseason and the couple of minutes that he's gotten during this season, he's ready. I believe. So it's just a matter of him getting some spot time, and like you said, G Money, coach has to,
Mhm.
he has to relax and learn how to better use his full roster. So with that being said, I drop it down over the shoulder to you, back to you, G Money.
Right, right, right. You made some amazing, amazing points, man. Like Quigley, I mean, look, it's still kind of early, so I won't be too concerned with Quigley. But I will say this: if he continues to be inconsistent, then I'm gonna have some concern. Because last year he gave us a jolt off the bench. Even though he did take some tough shots, he was attacking, he was hitting his threes, he was playing very well last year off the bench. This year, I just felt that, like you said, he's trying to do a little too much at times, and I feel that he's not being consistent. I mean, it's still early; it's only been 9 games. So I think we'll be fine. But if we want to take the next step this season and go far in the playoffs, we will have to play well. I mean, the good news for Quigley, he's passing is improving. He's averaging 5 assists, but other than that, he just needs to be more tuned into the offense. For us to go far in the playoffs, we need Kemba and Fournier to be consistent. Again, I know it's only 9 games. I know I know it's gonna take them some time. But if we want to take the next step and to go deep in the playoffs, these guys have to give us buckets consistently to take the pressure off Julius Randle and RJ Barrett. RJ's played great.
Mm-hmm.
RJ Barrett's really stepped it up this season. Julius Randle, I know he hasn't been amazing, but I think he'll be fine. He played very well versus the Bucks. He'll be fine. We just need Kemba and Fournier to not only be consistent now, but in the playoffs, though.
Right.
If we want to go far, because we're going to be playing teams like the Bucks, the Heat, or the Nets in the playoffs. So we just need a lot of consistency. And also, Thibs, look, Thibodeau is a good coach. Right? He's a good regular season coach, but in the playoffs, you got to make adjustments. I know, we don't want to think about that right now about the playoffs. So I'm just making a point. If you're Thibs, you just got to utilize the right adjustments. Go deep in your lineup, and the coaching staff too has to make the proper adjustments too if we want to go far. Julius Randle, just play calm like you did against the Bucks. Play your game and don't try to do too much. RJ Barrett, just continue to dominate, continue to go to the basket, continue to hit your corner three, but utilize more of the mid range game, obviously. And if you get an open corner, top of the key three, shoot the ball with confidence, though. His defense has improved too, which I know is from RJ Barrett. So the team is doing fine. We're 6-3, but we just need to just be more consistent and really more second halves and come out flying in the first half. Because I know that sometimes we dig ourselves holes too much and then
Yes.
we spend all this energy to keep coming back. You don't want to keep doing that against teams like the Nets, a healthy Bucks team, or the Heat, or the Suns, Lakers. You don't want to keep doing that because those teams are talented enough to maintain those leads. So if we can come out here and punch teams in the face, share the ball, attack, go to the line, driving kick, post ups, etc., we should be fine. I think the Knicks will beat the Cavs tonight, but I can see a scenario in which the game can be close early and we can either pull away or it can be close throughout. That's my guess. And with that, I could do a bounce past my man Santana.
Thank you, G Money. And
You're
I'm gonna
welcome.
kiss it off the glass. Now let
Mm-hmm.
me go back to quickly. Let me give my take on the quickly factor. So what I think, what I see, okay, there's been development in certain aspects of his games. This season, he's been able to use the glass more
Mm-hmm.
because he was always very dependent on the floater. He never seemed to be using the backboard to hit the layup. So that's an improvement that I've seen of his game
Mm-hmm.
individually. Another improvement that I have seen of his game is that he's been able to do the nice pick and roll and make a nice pass to the cutter. And
Mm-hmm.
that's something that wasn't part of his repertoire last year. Now, when he gets outside of that and he's trying to do it by himself, the game is going a little too fast for him. It hasn't slowed down for him to do what Bill Stradamus Esquire suggested, which is you survey the floor, you get a sense of who's hot, who's not, and you try to work the offense through the person that's hitting the shot. You know what I mean? You don't have to do it all yourself. An assist is going to count in the stat line. And
Mm-hmm.
people are going to notice and they're going to want to keep you in the game. But if you coming in on every possession, you trying to set yourself up for your own shot, and then you're missing. You're not getting an assist. You're not getting a rebound. You're getting killed on defense. You're not going to get the minutes. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where you have to slow the game. There's been, slight improvement. Like I said, the backboard, the pick and roll, but when he's out in the perimeter, he likes to shake and bake and pot and spot up and shoot. That's where he needs to slow the game down a little. He's trying a little too hard there. Barrett, I'm glad that he's now, getting into a rhythm where he's attacking the basket first, and he's attacking in a way that when he's near the cup, he's not fading away. He's going up to the basket. That's great because if he gets fouled, he's going to the free throw line and he's shooting a very good percentage at the free throw line. So that's really, his bread and butter and the mid-range game. Now, once you get those shots off and you get into a nice rhythm, then you can spot up and hit your threes. Again, he's approaching this much better, and I think the results are giving him more confidence, and he's starting to play more consistent. So I'll give him that, because I know we were ragging on him every time. We call him Arno J, or we call him the Riddler, and then of course we didn't want him to shoot. We didn't want him to shoot the three, but now he seems to get into a rhythm. The game seems to have slowed down a little bit for him, and he's being more productive, and the team is playing better. In terms of Randall, yes, Randall, I think he's adjusting to a new role that he has this year, which is, yeah, you're going to be counted on to score, but you don't have to carry the load all by yourself because you do have Barrett that now is starting to emerge. You do have Fournier that can shoot. You do have Kemba that when I mean he's shooting a very good clip, over 50% from 3-point range. So you got guys. So I know that's an adjustment for him, and I think as the season progresses, he's going to find his pocket. He's going to find his rhythm in the flow of the offense with these other offensive guys, and he's going to be all right. The one concern, and I think everybody shares the same sentiment, is when he want to play ISO ball and he's dribbling the ball. We don't need that. We don't need that. Keep the ball moving. Let it flow. Let it flow. And if you're gonna dribble, make it two dribbles and go to the basket. Two dribbles, pass. Don't four, five, six dribbles and all of that stuff. Attack the basket. If anything, if you want the ball, go off on a break. Give the ball to your guards and run the court. And they'll give you the ball. No different than what they're doing with Obi Toppin. Obi's on the run. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? He's on the run. Julius can do that. He has the capability of doing that. Not saying he's going to dunk it all over the place, but he's going to finish at the cup. So, with that being said, I'm going to drop it down now to G Money. Go ahead, G Money. Give
So
us your take in terms of a score that you anticipate for this game.
the score, it's gonna be a close game because, like I said, a cash fight. I can see a score in which New York wins 108 one. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I can see a score in which the score could be 108, 101, something like that. I think it's gonna be a close game because, like you guys said, the Cavs have a lot of athletic guys who can penetrate to the basket. And again, the Cavs have flaws. Cleveland has a lot of flaws, but don't sleep on this team. This team, I know it's early, but this team has a shot to be in the play-in, and who knows, maybe the playoffs. So we just got to just play with the right mentality, come out focused. I say 108, 101 because losing Kemba is going to hurt our offense a little bit though. And even though the Knicks are a good team, sometimes we play too many close games against inferior opponents. So I'm going to say New York 108, 101. And with that, I'm going to do a no look pass to my man Bill.
All right. I feel the same way with regard to this game coming up in a few minutes. I think it's going to be closer than we all like it to be. And
Mhm.
I was thinking more the lines of similar. I was thinking like 111, 103. 111,
Yeah.
103. We win by 7 or 8 points, I think. And that'll come with the game being, teeter tottering throughout. And I think that we'll just pick up the defensive effort in that fourth quarter especially under 5 minutes, to where we make it that much harder for them to score than they
Right.
have been scoring throughout the game. And with that, I'll throw it over to the coach for his score.
Yeah, I want to see them hold this team to no more than 102 points.
Mhm.
So in other words, they got to average 25 points, no more, 25 points per quarter, 25 points to 26 points per quarter of holding
Of whole,
another team to that score. I mean, I want to see that consistently, and especially when they went out against Milwaukee and they gave up 38. Let's reverse that. Let's try to make a statement in this game in the first quarter
Mhm.
by holding the team down to no more than 25 points. Because if
Right.
we set that tone, then I think we'll be able to carry it continuously, especially because these kids want to run.
yep,
So you
Mhm.
got to know, okay, we got to have our transition defense tight. We got to limit them to one possession per, every time that they come down the court. Don't give up any second shots. Let's take smart shots. Yes, I understand we want to shoot more threes, but we don't have to shoot threes every single possession and on the outset of the game. If anything, attack the basket. Get these cats in foul trouble. When you have young bucks that like to run, yo, put a body on them. Make them feel you on offense. Get them in foul trouble. That'll slow them down because then they got to sit on the bench.
yep,
That's
Mhm.
another approach. That's another tactic that could be deployed during this game. You're not going to try to run and gun with these kids because they're going to run you off the court. They're younger. They're
yep,
more athletic. That's their game. You don't play into their hands. They got to play our game.
Mhm.
We got to set the tone. That's what I'm expecting. So with that being said, I say the Knicks 110 and Cleveland 102.
all
Yeah.
right,
And I'll drop it off to UG Money so you could give us your closing thoughts, and then Bill, and then me, and then we'll get ready to watch again.
Right, right. But all right, salute. It was nice talking with you guys about the games, and like with the Knicks, this team's improving. This franchise has really improved after years of heartbreak. This team's really shown a lot of competence, getting the right pieces. And tonight's game, we just got to come up with the right mentality. We just got to come up with the right focus. We can't take this team lightly. We got to watch out for Jared Allen, keep him off the boards, prevent the lobs. Watch out for Darius Garland concepts and make sure they don't go to the plane. And watch out for Shuddy Osman. This could be a game he can hit three, so we gotta watch out for him. If we can do that, and if we can do that, and just come up with the right focus, share the ball, get into transition a little bit, we should be fine. It's gonna be a close game. I don't see a blowout because, like I said, usually when the Cavs and Knicks play each other, it's usually close. So I feel it's gonna be another close game, especially at home. But if we can just build off the Bucks win and get this game, it'll be huge because we have the Sixers again tomorrow. And
right.
Philadelphia's gonna look for revenge because we beat them earlier at the Garden. So it's like we need this game. We need to rebound. We need to share the ball. I hope we get like 25 assists or more. Also, hit our open threes. Not don't jack too many open threes. Just take to the rack, utilize the mid-range game, and just play ball. And with that, I'm going to do a hockey pass to my man Bill.
All right, and I'll take that hockey pass and slap it right into the goal,
Bingo.
high on the top of the net. I agree with again with everything that you said. What we're going to have to do, we have to control the pace, which
Mm-hmm.
is what Santana has been getting at. If we control the pace, we can get this. Because, like you said, those they got some young and running cats over there. And don't they have Ricky Rubio over there too?
Yeah,
Don't
Ricky Rubio too.
they
He's
got
on the
Ricky
way to pass
Rubio?
it too, and
So
Jumper's important. And
and
not to jump,
and
Rubio
Mobley
Jumper's important too, and Mobley. Yeah.
and Mobley that kid is good. Evan
Mm-hmm.
Mobley is a very good player. So that's why I want to see some Obi going against him. Let's see where we're at the power forward position. Um, I'm looking here. I didn't know this, but they have Taco Fall as well.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah, he's
that.
on the
I
team.
didn't know
Yeah.
there's
Okay.
anyone on there. And then you remember they had Isaac Okoro. still.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
they have some decent pieces over there, man. And then they have another power forward who I've seen, and he's been
Kev,
having no Wade, the kid Wade.
Wade. Oh yeah.
He's decent. He's a decent little power forward there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so he's going to probably get the minutes that marketing would have gotten. But if we can control the pace, um, not force the issue with the 3 pointers, move the
Mm-hmm.
ball around, go inside, let Julius survey the landscape and get in where he fit in, which he's very good at doing. And I
Mm-hmm.
think we can walk out of here with the W. With that being said, slide it over to my homeboy, Coach Santana.
You
Take it
know,
away and close us out.
thank you, Bill Diamonds. Thank you, G Money,
You're welcome.
for jumping in and chopping it up before the game. And one thing that G Money said regarding the way that we approach this game, it's got to be about consistent approach. It's got to
Mm-hmm.
be. It's got to be a consistent effort. Starting defensively and controlling on offense. Slow it down, man. Run plays. Don't try to shoot quick and stuff like that. That only opens up more possessions and maybe go the other way. That opens it up for them to run out on us. Nah, slow the game down.
Wow.
Grind this out, but in a way that you're playing to get good shots, good plays, and like G Money said, we got a game tomorrow. We need to win this one more than we need tomorrow's. I'm not saying we don't want to win tomorrow, but it's harder to win tomorrow coming off a back to back.
Right.
Right.
Okay, as opposed to we're fresh today. We had a day off yesterday, and we have the majority of our roster, with the exception of Kemba, that's not playing. So this is an opportunity to really go out there, prove to ourselves as a team a level of consistency, keeping our level of play high, not playing down, and then positioning ourselves to play against Philly tomorrow and hopefully stealing that one. But we got to take this one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, we're going to close this show as we always do by saying what we always say. Once a
What's that,
Nick.
Nick?
Uh-oh.
Always
Uh-oh,
a
we got
winner.
wait a minute.
Yep.
Delano
Yep.
Steels. I mean, we got him at the last minute. Salute to
Salute
everyone in the
Delano.
chat.
What's
Salute to
going on?
Santana
Salute.
and next year. Salute to Delano Steels,
Man,
man.
it's
We're gonna
clear.
catch you tomorrow. Hopefully we'll do the next podcast tomorrow. And you could join us in the chat room. Not even the chat. Join us as
On the
one of the
panel.
panelists. So that way
Absolutely.
we could kick it off. All right, fellas.
Salute
And
Delano.
he's shouting out G
Shout
Money
out
as
Shout
well.
out Delano. Thank you and shout out, man.
We gotta recognize our man Delano Steele.
Yep.
Delano, the man
The
of
man of
steel.
steel.
And then he's saluting. He'll likely be off. Okay, cool, no problem.
Good,
So
good.
yeah, fellas. So it was great chopping it up with you. Game is about to start in about 5 minutes. Enjoy the game, and we'll pick it up in the chat. All right, fellas.
Right.
Yep.
All right. Take
Once the
care
Nick,
now. Once a
Once a
Nick,
Nick, always
always
a
the
always
Nick.
a
Nick.
Nick.